out your weekly Explorer books. Now we are going to be going to page 8 and page 9. So this is what you should see. And go ahead and give me a thumbs up when you're there. Okay, so this is our last lesson of the segment. Let's begin by talking about what we're going to discuss. We are focused on the first alphabets. So let's look back at our literacy strategy. We've been focused on comprehension with understanding through the organization and selection of facts and ideas. You guys have translated some of your keywords into your home language and shared them with us. You have discussed important information and you have identified pictures from the preview that we did last time to figure out what might happen in the text before even reading it. So remember to keep in mind our good reader questions because those are important for understanding any given text. What is the main idea of the first alphabets? What differences exist between the first alphabets and maybe your home language or English or any other language that you might know? Can you write a brief outline? Remember that a brief outline just means that you're able to summarize what you've just read. So all that means is that you can tell me the main idea and some key concepts from the text that you have just read. Okay, so let's look at our keywords for this lesson. Pictographs, consonants, Phoenicians, hieroglyphics, and scribe. Okay, so you guys are going to be looking in your text to find these words. You're going to use context clues to define them, and you're going to be working with your partner in discussing these words. While you are reading, these are very important for the text. Let's look at our key comprehension questions because one of these questions is going to be your exit ticket or assessment for today. Who created the first known alphabet? Can you recall? That's going back to our literacy strategy. How many consonants it had? Describe the difference between symbols used for writing and phonetic symbols. Either one of these could be your exit ticket assessment, which is how I'm grading you. You need to know an answer for both because you're going to be discussing with your partner and then discussing with the class. So let's look at our student objectives. You will understand the text and show understanding through class and partner discussions. We've done this before and you guys are going to get more practice with it now. You will define and use keywords. One thing that I really liked from your last assessment is that some of you used your keywords in your exit ticket. I want all of you guys to use one of your keywords in your exit ticket. That will get you a perfect score. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. What I want you to do now is for about 20 seconds, just preview the text. Look at any pictures or captions or anything else that you just see visually. And we're not discussing with partners yet. Just go ahead and take 20 seconds starting now
thank you.
to preview the text. And read the captions, look at the pictures, try to decipher what's going on in these pictures. Try to analyze what you're seeing. Use these images to kind of figure out what our passage is going to be about. So, now that we have previewed the passage, go ahead and turn and talk with your partner on what you have seen visually or read in the caption.
You can be a group of 3 with them.
Alright. What do you think you're doing? What do you guys notice? What about
Like the alphabet and then like a stone with markings in it, like the alphabet. Then probably them making the alphabet, like these guys write it, this man corrects it, and this man makes sure, and then they like confirm it or something. And then
Okay, 1, 2, 3, eyes on me.
1, 2, eyes on you.
So now that you've discussed with your partners, go ahead and raise your hand if you want to share anything that you saw in your preview or your partner saw. Yeah?
I saw in this picture they had a writing tool and a piece of paper that they were writing on.
Perfect. That's a great observation. And that connects to the title of our lesson, right? Because they're writing. Okay, anything else? Yeah?
I noticed on page 8 on the top, there's a lot of symbols on like this paper or book, and it says alphabet. So I'm guessing those symbols were like alphabets, like of the hieroglyphs.
Perfect. That's a really good observation. Have you guys noticed anything else in your preview? Yes?
Some more like different languages, like these images aren't all the same, they're different.
Yeah, they're all different. They look pretty different. Okay. Yes?
They also, instead of writing with letters, they write with like shapes.
Yeah, they write with more shapes instead of regular letters like we're used to, right? What about what they're writing on? What does it look like they're writing on here? Yes?
Rock and the bronze weight.
Yeah, it looks like they're writing on maybe rocks or bronze plates, stuff like that. How does that compare to what we write on today? Yes?
Very different because we write on paper that's thin and move on. Bronze plates aren't that bendy, but also little bendy and rocks aren't bendy.
Exactly. So what we write on is a lot easier to write on, right? This writing in rocks probably took forever. They had to carefully sketch everything out. Okay, great job. Those were some great observations. So now that you've previewed the passage and we've discussed it, I want you to really think about everything that we've learned so far. We started comparing the first alphabet in our language already by discussing what they wrote on and how their writing looks different than ours. But let's go ahead and begin. You guys can start writing and reading with your partners. I want you to find each of these keywords, the definitions, and for our English language learners, I would love if you were to translate each of our keywords into your own language and presented them under the Elmo or showed us how to pronounce them so we can be connected to your culture as well. Okay? So, you guys can get started with reading with your partners, find those keywords, define them, and think about our key comprehension questions.
Page, we're from every page, first page you need second page. Writing began after humans developed agriculture. The first written symbols were pictographs. Most pictographs were literal drawings of things being represented. This writing originated from
Around 400 BCE. Much later, Greek cartoonists
Mesopotamia around 4000 BCE. Much later, Phoenicians used the first known alphabet. It consisted of 22 consonants. Much later, a group called the
French historians
He saw that some symbols used for writing were literal, most representing objects, while other symbols were from the walking commonplace dates the 8th century. You see, it seems that the Victorian period when most Twitter and the main
Remember, as you guys are reading, start thinking about what those definitions might be for our keywords.
While other symbols were of few United representing sounds. You realize
second one is consonants. And then it's the nations, the hero, HIERO, then scribe.
Good job getting started with the vocabulary.
One popular interpretation. These texts are from about 1,800 BCE. That's why ordering to
Alright, I see some of you guys finishing reading. Go ahead and get started on defining those vocab words. And start thinking about your comprehension questions. And remember to use your keywords in your answers.
The wall painting on this page dates back from the 8th century. It seems to portray a period when both the literal and phonetic writing was practiced, and scribes on its left is born writing with pen.
Can see angels in his
On feet.
I heard you talking about pictographs and how they're similar to pictures, and that's a really good comparison with the words. What does pictograph, the end, sound like for our words currently?
Like, for pictographs, I would say, like, just graphs and stuff. Like,
Yeah, that too. What about photograph?
still,
Pretty similar, yeah. But pictograph, you said, is more like drawings. It's like the same thing, but photographs are the pictures you take, right?
Ours is basically this straight one is first, this one's second, and then this one's like the third one. Okay, this one's the last one. And you just put them on the top.
Great job with your translations.
Yeah,
Great job. That's really cool.
Jamaican.
You Italian? Nice. I'm excited to learn how to pronounce those. Remember to be thinking about those key comprehension questions. Remember that you need to use your keywords in your answers, so write some notes for that. Consonants. Thank you. Yeah, of course.
Did you find it?
How do you say it?
Yeah.
Good job. Wow. It's like you guys are the teachers now. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys about 2 more minutes. Start thinking about your comprehension questions. And remember that you need to use our keywords to answer them.
Feel.
Okay, about another minute left. We will be discussing our comprehension questions.
Second to last word.
On Finette.
Okay.
Of course.
We have about 10 questions. Hi, Rebelfix.
I think it's in
Okay,
this
about
page.
20 seconds left. Now we're going to discuss. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, eyes on me. 1, 2, eyes on you. Okay, so that means I need your guys' attention up here. So, did any of our English language learners translate these words and are willing to share them with the class? Are you willing? Perfect. You want to come up here and put it under the elbow? And you know how to pronounce them as well?
Yeah.
Perfect.
So my home language is Italian, and the translations are pittagrammi, consonanti, finici, geografici, and scribani.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay. Does anybody else want to share? Yeah?
My home language is Russian, and the first word is pictogramma. The second one is согласен. The third one is умница. The fourth one is equivalent, and the fifth one is thesis.
Great, thank you. Okay, would you like to share as well? And then you'll be asked.
My home language is Arabic. I don't really know how to say these words, but this is how you spell the, you write the first one, that's how you write the second one, and that's how you write the third one.
Perfect, thank you.
I'm not sure how to pronounce it right, but I speak a different dialect of Arabic than her. But this is how you write it in Arabic.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, does anybody else want to share before we move on to our discussion? Yes?
So my home language is Farsi, and I don't really know how to say them, but this is how you write these words.
Perfect. Thank you. Hey, you guys can see just by looking at all of these different written languages how vastly different they all are. We can compare the first alphabet to how we write now with our regular letters in English too, and your guys' home languages. So let's get into our keywords. Can anybody tell me what a pictograph is? Yeah.
Analytical symbol for a word or phrase.
Okay, perfect. Does anybody have anything else to add to that? Okay. Okay. So for consonants, this relates to some stuff that we've already learned about through school. So I want you guys to turn and talk about what consonants mean before we discuss the class.
basic speech sound in which the breath is at least partly obstructed and which can be combined with a vowel to form a syllable.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, eyes on me.
1, 2, eyes on you.
So, with a raised hand, what does consonant mean? Yes? Okay. A basic speech? Okay. Does anybody else have anything to add to that? Yes?
A basic speech sound in which the breath is at least partly obstructed and which can be combined with a vowel to form a syllable.
Okay, awesome. Alright, so let's move on. This word, I heard a lot of you guys talking about, kind of a hard one to pronounce. It's Phoenicians. Okay, so let's have you guys turn and talk on what this might mean.
Welcome is sound. So,
Emma, you're going home.
Yeah, it's just written a little small.
Okay, so you guys are turning and talking about what the Phoenicians mean. I'm hearing it get quiet, so 1, 2, 3, eyes on me.
1, 2, eyes on you.
So, can anybody share what a Phoenician is? Yes?
Like a writer?
A writer? Okay, perfect. Anybody else have anything to add to that? Yes?
a number of Semitic people inhabiting ancient Phoenicia and its colonies.
Okay, perfect. So, Phoenicians, it's all about writing. Our entire lesson is about the first alphabet. The Phoenicians would have been the first writers. Okay? So, our next keyword, hieroglyphics. Okay? Does anybody have any idea what hieroglyphics mean? Yes?
Writing consisting of hieroglyphs.
Perfect. Okay. Does anyone else have anything to add to that? No? Okay. For our last one, let's go ahead and turn and talk for what a scribe is. Okay? I saw a lot of you guys asking about what a scribe is. Let's turn and discuss what that means.
Yeah, the person who writes. These are scribes. Oh no.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, eyes on me.
1, 2, eyes on you.
So, can anybody raise their hand and tell me what a scribe is? Yes?
Somebody that writes with ink and uses scrolls, right? So like writers.
Okay, so like writers. What kind of stuff did they write? Does anybody know? Yes? Documents? Okay, perfect. Does anyone else have anything to add for what a scribe is? Yes?
Person who writes.
Person who writes? Okay, thank you. So, we've talked about our keywords. You guys have discussed for many of them. Let's look at our comprehension questions. So, before we talk as a class, I want you to turn and discuss. Describe the difference between symbols used for writing and phonetic symbols. Okay? Turn and discuss with your partner before we discuss as a class.
Here when both literal and phonetic writing was practiced. The scribe on the left is writing with a pen and ink on a scroll. He is most likely using alphabetic characters. The scribe next to him is using a stylus on a clay table. That is what the Sumerians used.
So it's called phonetic.
Probably phonetics are probably more like characters, and then the
And mostly used like
this with the
pen and ink, and the other one is used with alphabetic characters. Yeah.
So basically, one is more symbol-like, another is like more character-like.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, eyes on me.
1, 2, eyes on you.
So, does anybody know? Can anybody raise their hand and tell me the difference between symbols used for writing and phonetic symbols? Yeah?
One is probably more character-like, the other is probably more symbol-like.
Okay, so one is more character-like and some is more symbols. Okay, perfect. Does anyone have anything else to add to that one? Okay. Well, in that case, let's go ahead and move on to our exit ticket question. Who created the first known alphabet? Can you recall how many consonants it had? So, this word right here, recall. This relates to our literacy strategy right here, recall. This is one of our key words, and we've been practicing this whole week the organization and selection of facts and ideas. You guys are searching for facts and ideas here to prove your answer. You need facts to say who created the first alphabet, okay? So, we're using our literacy strategies. You're going to write on your index card your name, and you're going to answer this question independently. Please make sure to use your key words in your response so I can give you the best score possible. Remember that this part, your exit ticket, is completely independent. But you can use your book. Tell me what page you got the evidence from for your answer. Make sure to include your key words. Don't forget to put your name on this as well. Once you are done, go ahead and give me a thumbs up so I can collect them from you. Okay, about 1 more minute. tickets, let's go over what we've learned throughout our entire segment. So we started with the Peking man, our keywords here, and our comprehension questions. Our comprehension questions here connect to our literacy strategy as well as our keywords. We moved on to the early hunters of the plains, where we learned some new keywords, and we answered more comprehension questions that match with our keywords here, because we're practicing our comprehension with understanding through the organization and selection of facts and ideas. You guys selected facts and ideas. You organized the text through all of these different questions. Okay? Lastly, today we focused on our keywords here. We answered our final questions we discussed together. We've met many of these good reader questions as well. Okay? So, you guys have been working on these objectives, understanding the text and showing understanding through class and partner discussions. You've done a great job with your partner and class discussions. And you've defined and used the keywords. You've used the keywords in your assessments, and you've also defined them. Okay? You guys have done a really great job. I am really proud of you. Thank you for your time.